kicking it off. Gonna do freeCodeCamp. freeCodeCamp.org. Pull up VS Code. There we go. I already made this. So we're going to do some HTML and stuff. I'm just going to copy it into here on VS Code. Oh, just realized. There we go. Under VS Code. Already made the thing. Let's just... Ooh. That was my phone. Give me a sec. There we go. And then we'll kick it off. Do the exclamation, that pulls that up. Just hit enter. Everything comes in there. Don't think we're going to be doing any script, so that don't really need to add any of that. All right. So, in responsive web design certification, you will learn languages that developers use to build websites, HTML, hypertext markup language for content, and CSS, cascading style sheets for design. First, you'll build a cat photo app to learn the basics of HTML and CSS. Later, you'll learn modern techniques like CSS variables by developing or building a penguin, and best practices for accessibility by building a quiz site. Finally, you'll learn how to make websites that respond to different screen sizes by building a photo gallery with Flexbox. Alright, I've done all this before. Don't remember any of it. Okay. So, let's go in here. I've done a couple of things. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Boom. So this is what we're going to be doing. Everybody loves to keep cat photos online. So we bridge to the website. It works. This is a link. Okay. Things get lovely. Laser pointers in lasagna, of course. Flea treatment, thunder, other cats, 3 things they hate. Cats hate other cats, of course. Let's see, indoor, outdoor, lazy, submit. Oh. Okay. Let's start. So, HTML element having opening tags like h1 and closing tags like /h1. The text an element will display goes between its opening and closing tags. Change the text of the h1 element below the hello world and cat photo app, and watch the change in the browser preview. Oh man, why? Don't know why that's not playing. Give me a second. I wanted to play music while we did this, but whoa, that is loud. There we go. There we go. I thought something was off. Thought I had it all set up. Change the text of the h1 element below hello world or to cat photo app. I'm just going to copy and paste that since that's what we're going to be putting up. And watch the change in the browser preview. When you're done, press the check your code button. Okay. So, boom. Check your code. Ooh, flawless victory. Okay, submit and go to the next. H1 through H6 headings. Yeah, so 6 different sizes, 1 being the biggest, 6 being the smallest. You only ever want to have 1 of the H1 element, you know that. Yeah, only use 1 element, because that's like the main heading. Everything else is just smaller headings, different sections. Cat photos. See. What? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Oh, H2. Oh, I'm an idiot. And that's why you gotta fucking read it all. There we go. What are you talking about? H2 photos, right? What am I supposed to? Cat photos. Below the, oh, below it. Again, Colin, what are you doing? Back it up here. Just not paying attention right now. Clearly need to get the head out of my ass. There we go. The P element is used to create a paragraph of text from websites. Create a P element, which is paragraph, obviously, below that one. So we just want, you know what? Let's start putting it in like this. P. Everyone loves cute cats online, of course. Alright, step 4. Commenting allows you to leave messages without affecting the browser display. Comments are the best. They're really important. Especially when you're testing things out. When you're testing it out, just comment things in and out, see what it changes. But main thing, comments. To do. So this one is just a to do, which is, in my opinion, kind of weird to just throw that in there, but there. It's supposed to be above. To add link to cat photos, and then there we go. Step 5, HTML5 has some elements that identify different content areas. These elements will make your HTML easier to read and help with search engine optimization, SEO. In accessibility, the main element is used to represent the main content of the body of an HTML document. Content inside the main element should be unique to the document and should not be repeated in other parts of the document. The example, so the main H1 contact document. Some more important content. Identify the main sections of this page by adding main. A main opening tag. Okay, so up here. And a closing tag after the go. Step 6. In the previous step, you put the H1, H2 comment, then the P element inside the main element. This is called nesting. Nested elements should be placed 2 spaces further to the right of the element they are nested in. This spacing is called indentation, which of course you have always seen in any type of code. Indentation is used to make HTML easier to read. This is an example of nesting. Yes. Boom. HTML1 or H1 element, H2 element, and the comment are indented 2 spaces more than the main element in the code below. Use the spacebar on the keyboard to add 2 more spaces in front of the P element so that we get. There we go. You can add images to your website using the IMG element. IMG elements have an opening tag without a closing tag. An element without a closing tag is known as a void element. Add an image element below the P element. At this point, no image will show in the browser. Okay. Oops. point, no image will show the browser, right? You just have to do the image? Yeah. Boom. HTML attributes, or attributes, sorry, not attributes. Attributes are special words used inside the opening tag of the element to control the element's behavior. The source attribute in an image element specifies the image's URL, where the image is located. Here's an example of an image element with a source attribute pointing to the freeCodeCamp logo. Right along here, so source, got it in the quotes. Inside the existing image element, add a source attribute with the URL. All image elements should have an alt attribute. The alt attribute's text is used for screen readers to improve accessibility. It is displayed the image fails to load. So it'll just tell you essentially what it is. Image of a cat. Right here, yeah. Image of a cat. Inside the image element, add an alt attribute with this text. A cute orange cat lying on its back. Nice and descriptive. Become a supporter. Remove interruptions. Maybe in a bit, you know? Maybe in a while. Let's see how the freeCodeCamp goes. Even though I've heard they're absolutely fantastic. Like their videos on the YouTube. Ask me later, please. You can link another page with the anchor. Here's an example linking to freecodecamp.org. Add an anchor element for free cat photo app. Oops. Links text must be placed between the openings, closing text. They have an anchor, element. There's an example of a link. The text, click here to go to freeCodeCamp. Okay, so just to add the text, cat photos. Step 12, add the word see more before the anchor element and in our gallery after the anchor element. Add the words see more before the anchor element. What do you mean? How do you... Oh. Just like this? Said the anchor element should not change. It must be... Oh, cat photos. What? Oh, do I have to... add a paragraph element? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Oops. Oh man. Maybe it's just like this. Maybe we can get away with it, dude. See more cat photos. Is that what you mean? Oh. There we go. Okay. He's smack dab in the middle of it. Okay. See, that's something I forgot you could do. You add p tags to it. Didn't I? Everyone loves cute cats on the sorry. Turn the text cute cats into an anchor element that links to. Okay. Anchor href equals just cute cat. There we go. Slowly but surely getting there, right? I think so. I think we're doing okay. 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 Let me just see. Okay, to open links in a new tab, you can see use the target attribute, the anchor element. The target attribute specifies where to open the link document. Target equals underscore blank. Opens the linked document in a new tab or window. Here's the basic syntax for an A element with target attribute. Sample code href, take target underscore blank. Whoops. Okay, so add target attribute to the value blank. There we go. We're cruising now. Okay, now that you've added the link, you can remove the comment. So in previous steps, you used an anchor element to turn text into a link. Other types of content can also be turned into a link by wrapping it in an anchor tag. Here's an example of turning an image into a link. So href, example link, image. Okay, so turn the image into a link by surrounding it with the necessary element tags. Use freeCodeCamp.com as the anchor's href. Which one are we doing that to, though? this one, I'm guessing. Boom. Just like that. Before adding any new content, you should make use of the section element to separate the capital content from the future content. The section element is used to define sections in a document, such as chapters, headers, footers, and other sections in the document. It is a semantic element that helps the SEO and accessibility. Okay. Section title, section content. Okay. Make your H2 comment P and anchor the elements and then nest them in section elements. So H2 right here. So this is where we want this section. Working. It's time to add a new section. Add the second section below the other section element. Oh, we're cruising along here, I think. We're on step 21. What is it, like a 40 step or something? Whoops. Oh, 71. Idiot. When you add a lower rank heading element to the page, it's implied that you're starting a new subsection after the H1, H2 element of the section element. Add an H3 element to the text. Okay. Oops, I accidentally clicked that too soon. To create an unordered list of items, you can use the UL on unordered list. After the H3 element with the things cancel of text, add an unordered list UL element. Note that nothing will be displayed at this point yet. So. Doesn't say that it was a void thing, so I imagine it's The li element is used to create a list item in an ordered or unordered list. There is an example of list items in an unordered list. Within the UL element, nest 3 list items to display 3 things cats love. cheat way here. List item. Whatever song this is kind of sounds a little, it's pretty dope actually. Let's throw that on the decent number of them in here that have been okay I have in there. Don't mind it. After the unordered list, add a new image with the source attribute value set to this and its alt attribute set to that. Okay, so ooh, excuse me. Okay, the figure element represents self-contained content and will allow you to associate an image with a caption. Nest the image you just added within a figure element. Okay. Self-contained content and will allow you to associate an image with a caption. Nest the image you just added within a figure element. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, figure caption, fig caption element is used to add a caption to describe the image contained within the figure element. Here's an example of the caption element with the caption of a cute cat. Description of the image, cute cat. Okay, so under here we'll have stupid drive. Where are we? To place emphasis on a specific word or phrase, you can use an M element. Emphasize the word love. Cats. Emphasis. There it is, a zema, not an emphysema. Oops. After the figure element, add another H3 element with the text, top 3 things cats hate. Okay. The code for an unordered list, or for an ordered list, is OL, similar to an unordered list, but this list item is an ordered list or numbered with when displayed. Oh, so 1, 2, 3. After the second section element, H3 element, add an ordered list. 3. numbers to the list, that's all. Boom. There we go. We're rocking. Smith, go along. Wait a second. Take a drink. Ask me later. Okay, here. After the ordered list, add another figure element. Okay. Inside the figure element, we just added nest an image. The source will be in here. Okay. To improve accessibility of the image you added, add an alt attribute. What? Oh, clicked it too soon. After the last image element, add a fig caption element with the text, "Cats hate other cats." Okay. Fig cap. Whoops. So we just pull it up. The strong element is used to indicate that some text strong importance are urgent. Hate. So it's gonna bold it, I imagine. Strong. But if I remember correctly when I did that other one, that's what it was. Strong. Yeah, bolds it. Look at that. Just building like crazy. Super easy stuff at the moment. Good way to start. It is time to add a new section. Add third section. All right. Submit and go. All right. In the third section of okay. In the third section element, add an H2 element with the text cat form. Okay, now you'll add a web form to collect information from users. The form element is used to get information from a user like their name, email, and other details. After the cat form heading, add a form element. Boom. The action attribute indicates that where form data should be sent. Here's an example of a form element with an action attribute. Form action submit URL. In the example, submit URL tells the browser that the form data should be sent to the path submit URL. Add an action attribute with the following value. Not even the word following there. I don't know where I got that. To the form element. There we go. The input element allows you several ways to collect data for a web form, like image elements, input elements are all void element. Or a void element do not need closing tags. Nest input element in the form. Inside the form. Input. Many kind of inputs you can create using the type attribute. You can easily create a password field, reset button, a control to let users select a file from their computer, create a text field to get in text input from users by adding the type attribute with the value text to the input elements. In order for a form's data to be accessed by the location specified in the action attribute, you must give the text field a name attribute, and assign it a value to represent the data being submitted. Here's an example of an input element with a name attribute. Add the name attribute to the value cat photo URL to text photo. Placeholder text is used to give people a hint about what kind of information to enter into an input. Here's an example of an input element with a placeholder set to example Jane Doe. Add the placeholder cat photo URL to your input element. Where is it? Do we put it before the name? Placeholder equals. Nice. Different users from submitting your form when required information is missing. You need to add the required attribute to your input element, so there's no need to set a value to the required attribute. Instead, just add the word required to the input element. Make sure that there's anywhere. All right, that works. What are we looking like now? Oh, look at that. Get stuff in there. The button element is used to create a clickable button. Add button element with the text submit below the input element. Okay. Even though you added your button below the text button, they appear next to each other on the page. That's because both input and button elements are inline elements, which don't appear on new lines. The button you added will submit the form by default. However, relying on default behavior may cause confusion. Add the type attribute with the value submit to the button to make it more clear. Oh. You can use radio buttons for questions where you want only one answer out of multiple options. Here's an example of a radio button with options of cat. Input type radio cat. Remember that input element is a void element. Before the text input, input type equals radio. This is all gonna keep going down, I think. Right? That's the capital URL and the submit button. This is all gonna keep going in front of it. It's gonna have that indoor and outdoor button that we saw on the main thing there. So label elements are used to help associate the text for an input with the input element itself, especially for assistive technologies like screen readers. Here's an example of a label element with a radio button. Okay, so we just want to put label. Input. Boom. The ID attribute is used to identify specific HTML elements, which ID attributes value, or each ID attribute's value must be unique from all other ID values of the entire page. There's an example of an input element with an ID attribute. So the ID of indoor, that'll be under input, or yeah, in the actual input thing. So radio, and then ID indoor. Print of the radio button, outdoor, all the same. Let's just copy, paste. Once we get to the JS, just do the markup and change that so that you don't have to have this multiple times in your markup. You can just choose whether it's displays for indoor or outdoor. And we get another one. All right. We're going. We're moving along. More than halfway done in less than an hour. Notice that both radio buttons can be selected at the same time. Oh my goodness, they can't. That's no good. To make it so selecting one radio button automatically deselects the other, both radio buttons must have a name attribute with the same. And so input type radio. Just like that. Select the indoor radio button now. And then the outdoor. Oh yeah. We're moving. If you select the indoor radio button and submit the form data button is based on its name and value attributes. Since your radio button does not have a value attribute, the form data will include indoor outdoor equals on, which is not useful when you have multiple buttons. Add a value attribute to both radio buttons for convenience. Set the button's value attributes to the same value as its ID attribute. Okay. Boom. The field set element is used to group related inputs and labels together in a web form. Field set elements are block labeled elements, meaning that they appear on a new line. Nest the indoor and outdoor radio buttons within a field set so that we can have them above. All right. Oh, whoops. The legend element acts as a caption for the content in the field set element. It gives users context about what they should enter into that part of the form. Add a legend element with the text, is your cat an indoor or outdoor cat? Okay. Above the radio buttons. Just like that. Nope. Okay. Oh. Wait. Oh, I probably just have to have. Come on. Colin, you idiot. Next, you're going to add some new form input elements. So add another field set directly below. Kool-Aid Man says, oh yeah. 76% complete. Add a legend element with the text, what's your cat's personality? But oh, why did that not? There we go. Forms commonly use checkboxes for questions that may have more than one answer. The input element with a type attribute set to checkbox creates a checkbox. Under the legend element, you just added input with its type. Whoops. Yeah. What? The input element with a type attribute checkbox. Puts a checkbox under the legend element. you just add an input. Yeah, the attribute checkbox, and give it the option of loving. Oh, forgot the space. Add an ID attribute with the value loving to the checkbox. Another way to associate an input element's text with the element itself. You can nest the text within a label element and add a for attribute with the same value as the input element's ID attribute. Give an ID or an input element as below. ID type, for example, of a label element that is associated to this input. Okay, what? There's another way to associate an input element's text with the element itself. You can nest the text within a label. Oh. Should I have to put the whole... Associate input element's text with the element itself. You can nest the text within a label element and add a for attribute with the same value as the input. Okay, so kind of like this. I'm thinking. Like that. Nice. Okay. Add the name attribute with the value personality to the checkbox input element. While you won't notice this in the new browser, doing this makes it easier for a server to process your web form, especially when there are multiple checkboxes. Add a name. Personality. In the label or input element. Boom. Add another checkbox after the one you just added, the ID attribute value. Add another checkbox to the one you just added. The ID attribute value should be lazy, and the name attribute should be the same as the last checkbox. Also add a label. Okay. Oops. I think this is right. Yes. Boom. Add a final checkbox. Okay. Energetic. static. Let's just there we go. We're getting there. Loving, lazy, energetic. Okay, like radio buttons form data for selected checkboxes are name, value, attribute pairs. While the value attribute is optional, it's best practice to include it within any checkboxes or radio buttons on the page. Add a value attribute to each checkbox. For convenience, set each checkbox's value attribute to the same value as the ID attribute. Okay. Radio buttons form data for selected checkboxes or name, value. Attribute is optional. The best practice to include it with checkboxes or radio buttons. Okay. So add the value attribute to each checkbox. Set each checkbox value attribute to the same as the checkboxes. There we go, and the values should be the same as ID. What? Isn't that what you wanted? Add a value attribute. What? Isn't that? Huh? Oh. There we go. In order to make a checkbox checked or a radio button selected by default, you need to add the checked attribute to it. Here's an example of a radio button with the checked attribute. There's no need to set a value to the checked attribute. Instead, just add the word checked into the input. Make sure that the space between the attributes. Make the first radio button the first checkbox selected by default. Okay. Where is it? Love it. Checked. Jesus. What? Isn't that what I wanted? Checked. No need to set the checked attribute. Instead, just add the word check to the input. Checked. What? To the actual input element. Done. Your first radio button. The ID. Oh, idiot. First radio button. Idiot. using the checked. What are you talking? I just. Isn't that the first radio one? First checkbox. Oh, do I need it on both of these? Oh, I'm an idiot. Needed it on both. The footer element is used. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Footer element is used to define a footer for a document or section. A footer typically contains information about the author of the document, copyright data, links to the terms of use, contact information, and more. After the main element and a footer element. Okay. A few more of these bad boys. Nest a P element with the text, no copyright within the footer. Huh? Oh, P. Gotta make it a P. My bad. Boom. Turn the existing freeCodeCamp.org text into a link by enclosing it in another A element or the href attribute should be set to HTTPS. Okay. Okay, step 67. Notice that everything you've added to this page so far is inside the body element. All the pages contains body element. However, important to add the head. What? Oh, I guess we don't need. What? Why is it? Didn't I already have that? I thought I already had that. The title element determines what browsers show in the title bar or the tab for the page. Add a title element with the head element using the text below. Cap photo app. What? Notice the entire contents of the page are nested within an HTML element. The root element of the HTML page and wraps all content on the page. You can also specify the language of your page by adding the lang attribute. We'll set that to English. This kind of stuff you don't actually... It all comes when you did this. We do the... As you can see, all that stuff fills in, so you don't have to do it every single time. Add the lang attribute. Let me wait. Just gonna get this done. Almost done it. We're getting close. Made some stupid mistakes, but that's alright. These things happen. Oh man, okay. Okay, all pages should begin with doc type. Yeah, it's just... Oh. Pikachu chooses you. Step 71, here we go. You can set browser behavior with meta elements in the head. Attribute value. Inside the head, let's nest a meta. I'm just going to copy from here. Boom. First one's done. First one's done, y'all. Alright. Ask me later. But we did it. I just want to go into it actually. Let's just copy out the body here. Boom. And we're gonna save that. I'm gonna open. Oh, what am I doing? It is just. Boom. There you have it. We are done the first part of that. Still lots to go, but one project down. So yeah, I think that's all we'll do today. Let me see. We are just gonna probably call her there, finish that up, and be back Monday. I'm probably gonna go through these this weekend. So yeah, we'll be back Monday. Peace.